This is Rummy's Corner. Good evening, boxing fans, and welcome to part 2 of the new survey series. Today we will be focusing on the 1900s. Just to clarify, the decade, not the entire century in case there was any confusion. Volunteers have been providing me with a chronological list of their top boxers from each decade, and in this particular decade we had 13 volunteers. We started with the 1890s, we'll be finishing with the 2010s, and each volunteer is providing between 10 and 25 names. No fewer than 10, no more than 25. For the decades each chooses to participate in for this experiment. Here is the scoring system for this survey series. Very straightforward, and without further ado, let's dive into the resulting top 10 based on the scoring criteria. At number 10, we have Tommy Ryan. Ryan was an American boxer who was known as an outstanding talent in his day, and he was one of the early pioneers in utilizing crouching defensive tactics to great effect. Ryan first established himself when he won the World Welterweight Championship in 1891, which he defended for nearly 7 years until he vacated, before moving up and winning the World Middleweight Championship in 1897. Ryan reigned as middleweight king until his retirement in 1907, and in terms of the survey, Ryan finished second place in the 1890 survey, marking him as the first boxer to appear in the top 10 in 2 different decades. Number 9 is Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, an American boxer known for having a solid jab, a mean right hand, and he was also defensively sound with a great ability to counter an opponent's attack. O'Brien won the World Light Heavyweight Championship in 1905, and he vacated that title soon after when he moved up to heavyweight. And just a quick note, the records at the bottom reflect the current information on BoxRec, and it's just there as a point of reference, as records from those days are often incomplete, and you might see some conflicting data elsewhere on sites like Wikipedia or the International Boxing Hall of Fame website. Philly Jack appeared on 10 out of 13 lists and had one top 5 listing. Number 8 is Barbados Joe Walcott, not to be confused with former American heavyweight champion Jersey Joe Walcott. A Bayesian boxer, Walcott was known for being a tough and tricky prize fighter with a great abundance of skill and talent. Standing just under 5'2", the Barbados Demon competed from lightweight all the way up to heavyweight during his powerhouse career. Walcott won the World Welterweight Championship in 1901, and he reigned as such until 1906. The Barbados Demon appeared on 8 out of 13, and he received 4 mentions inside the top 5. At number 7, we have Abe Attell. The Little Hebrew was an American boxer known for being a small, fluid, speedy, clever boxer with very good skills, decent punching power, and excellent defense. Attell claimed the vacant World Featherweight Championship in 1903, and he was one of the longest reigning featherweight champions in boxing history, although at earlier points in his reign his claim to the championship was somewhat disputed. To this day, Attell is still widely regarded as one of the very best featherweights in history. In the survey, he had 3 finishes inside the top 5, including 1 first-place vote for the decade. Number 6 is James J Jeffries. The Boilermaker was an American boxer who was best known for his tremendous strength and incredible stamina. Jeffries won the World Heavyweight Championship in 1899, and he defended that title 7 times until his retirement in 1904. The only loss on his professional record happened 6 years later after making a comeback in his failed bid to reclaim the heavyweight crown. Jeffries received 6 votes inside the top 5, including 1 first-place vote in the decade. Number 5 is Sam Lankford. The Boston Bone Crusher was a Canadian boxer who is still widely considered one of the very best to ever do it during the long, rich history of professional boxing. Lankford was best known for having outstanding punching power, amazing agility, superb ring intelligence, and a great abundance of toughness and courage. Like many of the top black boxers from this period, racial discrimination prevented Lankford from being afforded the opportunities to compete for a world championship, although he did have one title fight at welterweight which ended in a draw. Lankford, however, faced anyone and everyone he reasonably could have faced between lightweight and heavyweight during his 24-year career. Lankford received mention on 11 out of 13 survey submissions, including 5 inside the top 5. Number 4 is Stanley Ketchall. The Michigan Assassin was an American boxer who, despite being known for having a somewhat crude fighting style, had natural fighting abilities that were predicated on his awesome strength, his strong chin, and his quick, powerful hands where he could throw punches in bunches with authority. The Michigan Assassin was a 2-time world middleweight champion whose career was sadly cut short when he was murdered at the age of 24, and to this day he is still widely viewed as one of the very best middleweights in the history of the division. Ketchall received mention on every list in the survey, including 5 votes inside the top 5. Number 3 is Terry McGovern. Terrible Terry was an American boxer who was best known for his ferocious power and his unwavering will to win. McGovern won the World Bantamweight Championship in 1899, and in 1900 he moved up and captured the World Featherweight Championship. McGovern defended his featherweight crown half a dozen times, winning all 6 defenses by knockout. Terrible Terry was a unanimous pick among the 13 volunteers in the survey, including 7 votes inside the top 5. At number 2, we have Jack Johnson. The Galveston Giant was known for being an intelligent, crafty boxer with an uncanny ability to control the flow of a fight. Johnson excelled when it came to neutralizing an opponent's strengths, and his beautiful blend of offensive and defensive abilities enabled him to force opponents to fight his fight. Johnson won the World Colored Heavyweight Championship in 1903, and he defended that title until he broke the color barrier and became the first black World Heavyweight Champion when he won the crown from Tommy Burns in 1908. Johnson was undoubtedly one of the most influential boxers in history, and his accomplishments inside the ring were widely acknowledged here in the survey. Johnson received 9 votes inside the top 5, including 1 first-place vote. And at number 1, we have Joe Gans. The Old Master was a revolutionary in terms of preparation, where he would study and analyze his opponents to create a suitable game plan that played to his ample supply of skills and talent. Gans was known for having extraordinary ring intelligence, he threw sharp punches with pinpoint accuracy, and he was very economical with his movement, where he utilized a versatile approach. Gans won the World Lightweight Championship in 1902, marking him as the first native-born black American world champion. Gans went on to defend that lightweight crown over the next 6+ years, during which time he accumulated 15 title defenses. In terms of the survey, it was a powerhouse showing for the Old Master, unanimously appearing inside the top 5 on all 13 lists. More impressively still, Gans got 10 first-place votes, and the 3 volunteers who didn't have him first all had him at second. That is a damn strong consensus for Joe Gans, the Old Master. A very special thanks to the 13 volunteers in the 1900 survey. I did not personally participate, and I am very grateful for the contributions everyone provided for the survey, and I think the combined knowledge of those that participated produced an outstanding overall top 10 from that decade. So 2 down, 11 to go, and for those of you interested in participating going forward, the next deadline is March 12, and that is for the 1910s, and then after that, March 26 is the deadline for the 1920s. If anyone is interested in participating, official submissions can be made in the Classic Forum of BoxingForum24.com. I left a link in the description of the video. I will not be accepting lists anywhere except in the official survey thread. If you're potentially interested in volunteering, just sign up, go to the thread, and simply provide a list of your top boxers from the decades you choose to volunteer in. Don't feel obligated to do one for every decade. Stick to the ones that you are most knowledgeable about. If you don't have a strong command of boxing history before, say, the 1980s, then just start from there. But if you do have a strong command of the upcoming decades, the 1910s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, or even if it's the 1990s, 2000s, or 2010s, it's never too early to jump in for those decades with later deadlines yet to be announced. Taking a look at the final results from the 1900s, again, on the whole, I believe the 13 volunteers did a tremendous job here, and I do believe it is an outstanding overall top 10. A few boxers who were just outside the top 10 included Battling Nelson, Tommy Burns, Young Corbett Sue, and then Packy McFarland. I think those guys, McFarland in particular, I think, all could have reasonably been inside the top 10, and you can debate the ordering on some of those inside the top 10. But all things considered, I think this is a pretty damn good list from the 1900s. And just like with the previous decade in the 1890s, I definitely believe the right man finished in the top spot. Joe Gans, the Old Master. And it was damn near unanimous agreement that the Old Master was the greatest boxer in the 1900s. So what do you think? Please share your views in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful night. This is Rummy's Corner.